Good morning, everybody. Mike Vacchi, PrincetonTrader.com, here for NTMarkets.com with your Tuesday morning pre-market webcast. Okay, S&P 500 futures E-mini daily chart. And what we've got right now is we've got a very whippy market. Anybody that's trying to swing trade this market is probably getting pretty frustrated because the ability to put things on and leave them on, it's a very bumpy road and it's very hard to hold. Um, let's pull up a 15. Here's your 15-minute chart. You got the lows Sunday night, which provided a nice little entry. Then we get into the regular session, and we went in and we did our garden variety morning dip. We had identified this area as a potential support zone here from the weekly pivot. At that time, this was the middle band. I'm going to shift that to show the current middle band, which is pretty easy. It lines right up with daily, with the weekly pivot. So, and we basically did higher highs and higher lows the majority of the day. What we're running into is we are seeing things happen in the micro that are affecting the ability to put on what are pretty good longer term trades. We had talked about 62 last week. 62 to 25. We did the higher low here versus the lows, but the ability to hold that stuff during the day, especially when you're getting these sell pops pre-market, is difficult, and we end up closing on the highs. We had a decent day yesterday. The long was there, the short was there the day before. I'll be very interested to see what happens today. So then we get to the overnight. We do 54.75 and then a very nice lower high, 53.75. But it's happening when it's been happening so often lately, which is in the middle of the night, at least for those of us on the East Coast. So you wake up this morning and we're trading 43 instead of 53, and the desire is to chase. But like I told people in the room yesterday, I told them Sunday night, don't short in the hole. This is still a market where you don't want to short in the hole. You just can't trust the bears that much. A lot of people shorted in the hole here. Figured up, coming off the open, we're going to push lower. No, they just did a classic morning dip buy and ran with it. So what am I looking for today? Well, you have to ride a horse until it bucks you, right? So I have to assume that at some point after the regular open, we're going to get a morning dip buy. What happens with that morning dip buy remains to be seen, but you need to be there for the dip buy because potentially, remember this is a 15-minute chart, if we keep putting in higher lows, then eventually we're going to head back up, we're going to test this 62 and see if it's for real. Now, there was a setup that we were trading in the room yesterday that was a classic bull setup from back in 2013, 2014. A setup that the bulls would have taken through to new highs much earlier in the day and ran with much farther. We're not seeing that. Okay, we're seeing things continue to get sold despite the fact that we are, at one point, we were 20 handles above the middle band. So do I want to buy the dip this morning? Yes. Am I leery of the staying power of the bulls? Very much. If we go back to the daily, you can see, green, red, green, red. The two sides for the last, few sessions have really been trading punches. So whichever side is able to put a couple of days together is probably going to get the next move in this market. If it's the bulls, I would expect it to get back to 62 and over and then start to build its way back up to new highs. If the bears find it, then I would expect to test this cluster of moving averages and break below to probably retest the 100, which is where we bounced on January 21st. So all that said, today's the first day of a 2-day Fed meeting. Tomorrow you've got the Fed announcement. Could we be right for a walk up into the Fed? Sure. Fed's tomorrow. Um, so a lot of cross currents today. Like I said, whoever puts a couple of days together is going to be able to, run with the rest of the week. But neither side is taking advantage of the opportunities presented to it. We did not break down to new lows from the Sunday night dip. We did not start making lower highs and lower lows. The bears blew that one. And the bulls have taken a perfectly good setup yesterday with a Sunday night low that they've taken advantage of so many times, and a lot of higher lows and higher highs, and they've given back 10 handles of that in the last few hours. Okay, take care, everybody. Follow us on Twitter at Princeton Trader. Check out the website, princetontrader.com. Come check out the chat room. I'll be back tomorrow morning with another webcast. Trade 'em well, everybody.